Yo, what's good, guys? You're listening to another episode of Redefine Gospel Sounds with myself, Success. Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are healthy. And hope you guys are blessed too. I am serious now before, literally about 10 seconds before we started this, I wasn't serious. So we're going to try and get through this one in one piece. What's happening right now?
You tell me, bro.
It's a weird time right now. People are up and... In fact, sorry. I'll actually limit my speech because I don't know if MI5 will come and pull this pod. So let's continue. Today, we are in the studio with the man of the moment. Because you're here, that makes me the moment.
I'll take that.
I wish people could hear the pre-gist to the thing, but of course, I don't know. Maybe we should do subscribers so that subscribers can listen. But we have 6, 7, 8 Nath in the building. Hey.
Round of applause for everyone.
So hello.
Hey, mate, what's happening?
How are you? We have a rule here. You're not allowed to say good.
I'm blessed.
You're not allowed to say blessed. We are a Christian-based podcast, so everyone, even you're blessed. So we're gonna have to get a third out.
No, so I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Thankful. Life is good.
Cool.
Enjoying, learning, building friendships, relationships.
Do you find it easy to build friendships?
I think depends, innit? Depends what the person's like, bro. Like, I think coming into the studio, it's the first time we've met, innit?
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of like you don't suss each other out, but you read vibes, innit? And if you can like vibe with someone, if someone's just like, I don't know, man, you just know the people that you have no interest in like being around. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be cool with them, but you have no interest. So I think it just depends on the person, but I'm pretty easy going, bro.
It's interesting. It's mad different when you're older, because I was just thinking, like, when you're younger, like, you just assess whether you want to be friends with someone if they're fast on the playground. You just shout at them and you roll with them. That's it. That's what I remember. You just shout at them, you roll them. That's it. In secondary school, you just know that. And secondary, maybe not that.
Or if you're good at something, if you're good at something, yeah.
As you're progressing now, things are less fickle, and you're now deciding, cool, how do we actually make friends properly? And not everybody's good at it. Even the whole like social interaction. Obviously, like, you can be socially awkward, and that makes 100% sense, especially in new environments. At deep that I clocked that even at like work, for example. So I started working not too long ago. People that have listened to this pod fairly regularly know this. But adults are just as awkward, if not more awkward, than like young people. Like, I actually clocked it. Like, in the kitchen, let me tell you about the kitchen. So the way the kitchen is set up here, it's right at the end of the office. So everybody has to walk there and go there. It's a blind turn. So you don't know. There could be next man woman there, or there could be nobody. In my head, I'm always prepared that I'm going to see someone and be like, hi, you're right. Like, I've already perfected that. It's actually the way that I've done that. But sometimes it's like, obviously it's a two-way thing, but you expect people to just like say hello, but sometimes man are just on their J's. Like, that's what adults do. But it's true. It's not straightforward.
I think it depends, innit? I think like it depends on the people, innit? And I think most time at workplaces, people just like lunchtime, like, I don't want to talk, bro.
Yeah, I hear it.
Like, I've had boys that have come on to like help man out and work with man, and just lunchtime they're just like, you lot just leave me alone, bro. They just go in a corner, eat their food, mind their business, which is like, it's cool, but it's like, it's weird, isn't it? Because ideally you would say you would want people to interact and socialize, but if the shoe was on the other foot and it's you on lunch, do you want to talk? Do you know what I'm saying? So it depends really, innit? Like,
I hear it.
On what you're doing. So
I hear it.
But yeah,
I want you, before we get into anything music related, I want you to describe this season in your life for us.
I think this season in my life, that's a good question, bro.
This year, I was actually meant to say chapter, but I've said it as
season chapter.
It's so Christianese.
It is.
But yes, no, season. Describe.
I think this point in my life is kind of the point where it's me taking ownership for the things that God have said to me in regards to the mandate that he's given me for my life, the visions that he's given me, the things that he's entrusted with me to do. It's the season for me to like take ownership of it and kind of just run with it. So, and be so sure in what he has told me that my confidence comes from within, knowing that God has said this, and whether everyone else around me is saying this or saying that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you take it into consideration, and even when God gives you a green light or tells you to go, you're still fearful. Like, it's natural because you're stepping into the unknown. Like, it's a new season for you. It's a new chapter. It's a new phase of your life that you have no clue about. You're basically getting into the darkness and you don't know what's on the other side. So I think that's where I am, just taking ownership of my life, taking ownership of everything that God has told man to do, and just running with it, bro. Like, grabbing it by the horn and just going for it.
Is it easy then for you to be, up to this point, has it been easy for you to be confident just in general?
Yeah.
But then obviously, of course, like pertaining to like music and things that you're doing in the creative sense.
I think confidence hasn't been something that I've lacked, bro. Like, I've always been advanced in it for my years, like from age of probably 10, 11, 12, 13. Like, I've been pretty like self-reliant and been in situations where I've had to like interact with people, just been in uncomfortable situations. So I know how to handle myself. And I kind of think like it's helped. Like, I believe like you go through things, God puts you through a test and a process, knowing what's coming ahead to prepare you for what's coming ahead. So everything that you go through at this phase and where you are now, when you get into there, when you get to where God is releasing or wants you to be at for your next season, you've already been prepped and have the tools that you need to function in that. And I kind of feel like everything that I've been through in my past and whatnot has kind of equipped me for this season. Like, obviously I got a sports background and whatnot. So with the music, music is not, it depends on how you look at it, but to me, music isn't as difficult as sports. Because man's not getting up at flipping 5 a.m., 5:30 thinking I need to run a 5K at 25 minutes. You get me? Man might get up and be like, yeah, I got studio. Or I might be getting back home at 2 a.m. and sleeping and getting up at 5 a.m. for studio. But the principles are still the same as regards to being disciplined and knowing what it is you're doing. So I think everything that I've been through in the past has kind of equipped me for this moment. So it hasn't been challenging in the areas that I would expect it to be. It's been more challenging in other areas and figuring new stuff out in the territory that man's in. So
with that being said then, because I think I'm just trying to get a better insight into like why you do what you do. Why would you say you make music then, considering now that it's something that, I mean, you've just said that it doesn't, you brush it more competitively other people might do. So does that mean then that it's a thing that comes more easily to you?
What, music?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been doing music since I was like 13, bro. Like 12, 13. I've been. Since I was 9. Nah. Like I've been in like bro. When I was like 8, 9, my cousin used to have a studio. You know, back in the MSN days, he used to have a studio, and his brothers used to come over and record it. I was like, what are these man doing? I never cared about it much, innit? But like, so I've been around it to some extent, and my mum, she's like heavy into the music stuff, like, and she's got like a background in like media and acting and stuff. So like, man has been in and around it. But from 13, obviously before I got saved, I was involved in stuff, and all the men them that I was around, they always used to like do music and whatnot. And then obviously for me at that age, like the way I could express myself was through music and write how I was feeling. So for a lot of men, if you've grown up in like an African household, I don't know about you, but it's like communicating isn't something that they teach.
You
get what I'm bro, you get what I'm saying?
It's not a thing.
It doesn't exist, bro.
It don't exist.
It's just a look. And you know what the look means, or it's the cane. Like, so I wasn't like used to like, there wasn't anyone that I could speak to about this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through. Because I've just always felt like it's been me, myself, and I. And obviously I knew of God in the sense that I didn't have a relationship. So it was kind of a thing where I was just always used to write music and whatnot. And then yeah, bro. So I just been doing it for the longest time, and then guess it just flowed into where we are now. So
I even want to stay with what you were saying about like communication and that lack of it, or for want of a better term, did that now hinder how you communicate with people going forward? Or if so, like how did you kind of see it like evolve as you were kind of growing up from like when you're younger? Because obviously that's something that, and even I guess as men, like
yeah,
as like it's pretty much knowing that it's not the necessarily the easiest thing for like men to do between men, maybe.
yeah. I struggled, bro. I think obviously I was in care when I was 13. So I lived in care since from 13 till 15. And then from 15, I had like my own place till I was 18. Then I went through some bits and bobs from 18 to 20. And because I never had that understanding of what a family situation is, I never learned certain skills, like household skills, like, you know, like a father teaching you to iron. I didn't used to iron my clothes. I was like, yeah, get me that. You know when you see like the man them out on road, the young G's, and they're out and their stuff is just they're not doing it deliberately. Some of them are just nasty, but majority of them, like, they don't know better, innit? So I didn't have certain skills and stuff. So when it came to speaking and communicating, and obviously when I was 20 or 18, I ended up moving in with some of my like family and friends and stuff who go to the same church as me. And God just, especially during lockdown, God exposed like the way I think, the way I see stuff, the way I communicate, because I'm not communicating. So I'm doing stuff in a normal household. You're going out, you're telling your parents you're going out. I'm coming back at this time. I just say, see you lot later, I'm gone. I don't come back till 5 a.m. in the morning. And they're looking like, what are you, like, where have you been? Do you know what I'm saying? So it really messed me up in regards to communicating with people in my close circle, family and friends. But when it came to like just general normal people in the public, I was cool because I'm used to holding my own. So I could always hold a conversation with a random stranger, knock on a man's door, see someone in public and conversate with them. But when it came to actually me being able to communicate with people like my mom or just people who are close to man and care about me, it definitely had an effect in the sense that I didn't know how to. Do you know what I'm saying? Not like talking is one thing, but understanding the dynamics of communication is a different thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like how to express yourself. So that's where like music came in handy because I'm not good at expressing myself. Well, I wasn't good at expressing myself like on face level because I'm just like, that's how you feel, cool, whatever. And we keep it moving. So I think it's just over time as you grow up and you start seeing chinks in your armor and you're like, right, like time's ticking, man's gonna have a family soon and I need to pattern up. So yeah.
I very much hear that. I think for you, when you were like 11, 12, 13,
Yeah.
I think earlier you were speaking about the need for self-resilience, like from yourself and things of that nature. How was that the case? What went on that made you have to have that effort?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Well, we're getting deep in it. So obviously I came over here when I was 7 with my mum. Parents split when we were in Nigeria, and like I didn't live with my pops from 7, and I just got into the wrong stuff, man. Like it's typical stories, isn't it? But it's real life. Like just mum was always working. I would come back home, food will be there. She's already gone because she's working 2 jobs. So I leave the house in the morning. She's already gone to work. I come back. She's already come back, made food, gone out to work. I've eaten, flip. It's 5 o'clock. What am I doing? I'm going out to play with my friends and stuff. And I just ended up getting in the wrong stuff. Just meeting with not wrong people because I guess they played a part in my life at that time, but just people who were up to stuff and they were probably in the same situation as me. And, you know, so I just ended up getting involved in gangs. Like I think from like 12, I got kicked out of school in year 7, literally before summer holidays. And it just went downhill from there. Like before that, I used to get involved in like robberies, burglaries. But bro, bear in mind, I was like 11, 12, bro.
I have a question for you. I'm gonna jump in because I think a lot of people, obviously for me, like I was like never know that I've kind of like had a normal quote unquote.
Yeah.
But like see like 11, 12,
Yeah.
and like you can say cool, like I was in a gang. At that age,
Mm.
do you know? Okay, cool. Like I'm in a gang, and this is what we are. Or, like for you, because
No, bro.
A lot of people in similar situations, like
Yeah.
they kind of said to me, or like I've read, and it's been like, okay, we don't really see it as that, but it's just, like,
Yeah.
it's just what we do. Like
Yeah. Nah, like don't get twisted. I like, because it's what you grow up in, innit? So man, I knew what gangs were, bro.
Where'd you grow up, by the way?
I grew up in Deptford. Okay. So I lived in Deptford when I was from 10, 9. I was young. I was like year 5.
Yeah, that's that.
Year 5 till year 7, year 6. I lived in Deptford, but I didn't know what gang was. Like I knew what gangs were, as in man knew about PYG and the Deptford youth, but I didn't know that the man that I was moving with was that. So I remember I said it to one of my brethren, like I remember one time, like man, I came after school, I just on a block, and it was just a bag of man. Like 30 man, bro, 20 man, just deep. And back in the day, obviously the terrain, the area was flat. So just push bikes, galore, bagger man. So man's coming just like, right, but these are just friends. But I'm young in it, so I don't know no more. It's like, yeah, like, hey, we're getting over to Canada Water, you know. I said, yeah, man's coming. Like, yeah, come jump on. Like, put man on the front of the bike. Man's just riding. Bagger man, yeah, on the main road. Cause you know, like, back in 010 and those days, it was like, things were just a bit raw in it. So just bagger man cycling, whatever. Like when I think about it now, they were going on a ride out, and I'm on the front of the push bike, like, wee, like I didn't know no better. Bro, deep, like you know, maybe it was like 20 man. You know what I'm saying? It was like probably 20 man. It's the same equivalent, like you know, like in the medieval days when they had horses. You get me? It was like the bikes was the horses for the man. You get me? So it was like stuff like that. So I didn't know what was going on in that situation. I was just there like, do you know what I'm saying? Blinded by what was going on. It's like, yeah, I'm just here. But the reality of the matter is there was something deeper going on. So like I knew, like you know about stuff, but I think knowing that you're in it and involved in it at that young age is a different story, innit? So
I feel like then how did you manage to, I'm not even gonna say necessarily like pull yourself out, because obviously from when you were, let's say 11ish all the way through to, can I say like 20, that's like quite a varied like turn of events in terms of like where you were, like who you're with. So even through that time, where were like the peaks and troughs, would you say? Like how did it fluctuate? Because you know you've gone from 11 or just before like 12, you've like year 7, like you're kind of out of there. So where, through that from 11 to 20, where was your head at various stages in that decade, really? Because that is a long time.
It's a decade for real, isn't it? It's a long.
You're kind of old. I didn't want to say it.
I don't do that. Cut that. What's that? I think, as I said, I think it's by the grace of God, man. Like, as I said, 10 to 11, 10 to 13 tapped, because I got a song called 10 to 13. But from 10 to 13, I was doing whatever. And then from 13, obviously, I got into like madnesses and whatnot. Got remanded in custody, came out, went back in. And then from 13, I was in care. So I was in care from 13 to 15. And then at 15, just before I turned 16, I was given like my own semi-independence. I had like a 1-bedroom flat. But it's weird because when I got released and put in a care home, it was there I got into sports. And for the first time in my life, I was getting told that I'm actually good at something. Like, it's weird, bro, because I used to play ball, but it wasn't a typical story that, like a man got injured. I was just outside, bro, so I was getting in trouble, and I'm just that I never built consistency. And when I went inside, remanded or whatever, it just, all of that kind of just went away, and I came back, just got lost in a cycle. So when I got put in a care home, I was so far away because they put me in Croydon. I was far away from everyone. So traveling back to the block from Croydon is long, bro. Like, man's got to walk down 30 minutes down the hill, get trained. It's a lot. So anyway, so obviously got into the rugby, and I think I was around people, I was around men. I didn't go out with my pops. So now I was around like role models, men who have been involved in gang stuff, Bacayard, Jamaica, man, been involved in stuff, like done crazy stuff, and they're telling man like, no man, like da. And I'm looking up to them and listening to them. And then ironically with the sports stuff, so we used to this is BC, innit? You just see man know it's BC.
Oh please,
you get me? I'm just BC, you get me? Mumsy's watching this, you get me? She's gonna start asking questions. But we used to we had like an apple tree in the back garden. But I was like, I've always been big for my age, innit? So and because I've been exposed to stuff, so when I'm going in there, I'm the youngest in there, but I had a jail mentality. So when I'm coming out and I'm in this like 8-bedroom house with all these other kids, I'm scoping it on I'm not even trying to fight, because man just spent the past whatever just fighting older guy. I don't want to do that. So I come in out and I suss it out, and somehow I managed to be the guy that was just, I knew what was going on. And I'd be like, hey, so we had like an apple tree in the back garden, and we used to pluck the apples, and we had like a fat drive, bro, like crazy drive, and we just used to post up and just lace apples at cars. It's tapped, bro. Just dash, like I'm talking just big, because it was like a private road, innit, like Foxy Lane. So man used to just lace apples, Range Rovers, bow, it didn't matter. So guys are coming to the door, knocking on the door, and obviously police used to come to the door, and then it was during that process where they came one night and they're like, bloody yeah, mate, how old are you then? Yeah. I'm like, I'm 13, officer. He's like, I thought about getting into rugby. So it was at that point where it was like the idea of me doing something and put my energy into something was like presented. Yeah. And obviously I got into that, and I had people who were around, man, that could financially support that. Even if it was £50 to buy boots, Mumsy didn't have £50 like that to buy it. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're giving me the money for that. They're giving me pocket money. They're making sure I'm at training. Now I'm going to training. Now it's weird, like being a guy from the block and you're around all these posh white kids. But I got a tag on my ankle. So now I'm going in the change rooms, I got a tag. So like, it's embarrassing, innit? So man's, I'm pulling up, I'm hiding it. But they love it. They're like, what's that, man? He says, knife. I'm like, bro, chill out. So now, but it's weird because their excitement made me comfortable. It didn't make me comfortable in the sense of, yeah, man, I'm a bad man, you know. It made me comfortable in the sense like, what's wrong with these man? Like, you lot are just fine, like chill. Like it came clean, like relax, man. Like, but they were just, they've never like, they see it on.
Did they want to ask you about your stories from the end?
Yeah, but they were asking, man, oh, mate, so do you know stuff? I'm like, yeah, bro. They're like, oh, they were loving it. But because I was so cool and I'm not around the guys before, I'm just, my mindset's completely changed and I'm not on all of that. So now I had a tag and they were like, yeah, and then now I'm training and playing and I'm doing well. So I'm actually, you know, you're talking about, we were saying you make friends by who's fast in school. Yeah. I was the big black guy who was good at rugby.
You were smashing
and he's from the block. Yeah. And I talk like that, man. So when I'm going in, they're like, Nath, go on. So I'm like, come on, fam, you know that. Spudding them. They're seeing.
Every black person knows a white person like this.
I'm telling you. They loved it.
They love it.
Loved it. Man's come like, what are you saying, fam? I'm like, come on, my boy, you good.
They all
I'm like, bro, big man thing. I'm like, bro, like, come on, bro, you get me? Like, I wasn't like, but certain man were like, it was weird because then when I'll leave there and go to the block when I saw and meet certain people and the man am acting weird, I'm like, you know what, I'm done with that. And then I go to training and then these men are like, oh God, I'm like, bro, like,
I'm not even
like, bro, I like you because you're different. I don't like you because you're not from the block. Please just be cool. Yeah. That's all I want. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, being around those, so my mindset shifted. But I was going to people's houses that were worth millions of pounds. Yeah. And one of my brethren, big up him in it, like his dad runs like a sports clothing brand or whatever. Okay. And he just had so much love for man, and he just used to bust. He said, mate, listen, like he loved it as well. He's like, Nath, because I was gonna get gassed. We were in Knightsbridge one night. We went to some party, and he's like, Nath, listen, mate, we're gonna stare right his ass, but listen, just when you go in there, just be cool, mate. He's like, you know, don't act like you've never seen him before. He's like, because he's a bit shifty about people coming to his house. I said, yeah. He said, bro, man rocked up to this house. We're walking. I'm seeing Bentleys, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Range Rovers. I'm there like, okay,
gotta
I
do the
see.
cool thing,
I'm cool.
Gotta do the cool thing.
I'm
bro.
cool, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not excited. I'm like, is it minor, man? You know when the man I'm sure he's like, what? Yeah, come on, man, that's dead. What? That's last year's thing. I'm dead, man. So I'm there, man's at the door now. Crazy. Got the cinema downstairs, got the swimming pool, got the gym there, the back garden. They got the tree cut, bro. So I'm there. I'm like, yeah, man, like, yeah, it's nice, bro. Just chilled. Just go in the thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm around all of these things, and it's exposing me to stuff. So it just meant like the way that I saw stuff kind of changed. And then yeah, bro. Can't remember what the main question was, but we just went on that.
It was the mindset change, which to be fair, you kind of demonstrated.
It's a bit.
And then with that, then I guess
they did tell me it was gonna get hard, but
yeah, that we did.
Yeah.
With the rugby, then even in that time before falling into I guess fellowship and like things of that nature.
Yeah.
What was it like having people that believed in you? Because up to that point, I can't imagine that there would have been that many people.
It was amazing, bro. I think that's what really helped. Is we have a lot of like, I think within the black community, in it, there's a lot of thing of and we spoke about it briefly before, but it's like it's us against the world.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get why we have those mindsets, and it's completely understandable. But not everyone's like that. Yeah. And I think because I was so stuck in a bubble of that's all man was hearing, it made it hard to trust people. Yeah. So now when I'm actually encountering people who are white or whatever that are genuinely good people, it's like, that's not true. You see what I'm saying to you? Because then the people who believed in me was the white person that everyone's telling me like to write off and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. And I remember, bro, like I had coaches, bro, one of my coaches, man, paid for my driving lessons. Like paid for like, obviously he ended up shuffling towards the end, because I was failing that, you get me? But he's like, come on, mate, like, hurry up, do you know what I mean? So, but it's like, the people who believed in man were the people you didn't expect it from. Yeah. And it was just different, bro. The first time to know that, you know what, like you're good at something and people are telling you like, bro, you could, like when you have brethren and they said, yeah, I just started this podcast or whatever, or I'm just, you're like, bro, your product is sick. Well, you can do it, gives you that drive. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that was one thing that I needed the most at that point in my life. Because I was like 13 to 16, like 13 to 14. I needed that, bro. And it kind of propelled and pushed me forth to be like, do you know what? I'm gonna focus on this rugby thing because this is what I'm good at it, bro. And this is what's gonna get me out of the situation that I'm in and give me focus and all of that stuff.
And as you've told us off cam, it's rugby that's giving you your stage name, but can you kind of like spell it out to the people because not everybody will.
So my name is 678 Nath. So originally originated from the rugby in a sense that it's position. So it's 3 positions in rugby: blind side flanker, open side flanker, and a number 8. So the blind side flanker is kind of like just big, stocky, and he just crash ball. He just gets the ball, runs it, and he does what he wants really in it. There isn't really like a specific job, but he can kind of like do everything. The number 7 is like small, fit, can just run. He's like a cheater. He can just keep on going. Cheaters can't keep on going, but he can just keep on running. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's a hard hitter. And the number 8 is kind of like skillful, big, and he can do a bit of everything. So that was a position I played. So it was kind of versatile. So all those positions can intertwine and they can play in each other's, apart from the 7, because 7s are small, but they can play in each other's position. So when I was starting the music thing, I was like, what name could I use? Like Prophet Nath, like Prophet, you know what I'm saying? But my brethren was like, TJ was like, bro, whatever you do, don't come here with all of that edit. So I was like, okay, flip. So that was my Instagram name. So I was like, why don't I just use something that I already have that people know me with already? So I just stuck with 678 Nath. But as time went on, it evolved and I became 678 Nath and kind of took that rugby figurine or character into the music, and it evolved into just same thing with the rugby, but it's just expresses my versatility. So I'm not one dimensional. So at the moment I do the drill stuff, but I'm so much bigger than that. Like there's there's so much more that I want to do in regards to with the music stuff, with the artistry. And when I'm rapping or whatever, and I'm like, it's 6, you know, you're gonna get the drill. That's the drill, Nath. The 7 and the 8, they just do what they want.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like you might hear me on I'm a piano one time. Who knows? You might hear me on a flipping dancehall song. Who knows? And then the Nath part, which is like another element, is just me in my wholeness in regards to just, that's Nathan. That's the person that is the person. The digits are just the digits. They're just artistry. But the Nath is just me. Like, that's with the rap stuff, with the deeper stuff, with the meaningful stuff, the things that hit you and makes you really reflect and can connect with you on a level of, okay, you've come in and you saw the lights, the camera, the action. Like, let's sit down and actually reason. And yeah, bro, that's the meaning behind the name.
I like that. That's a lot of man didn't know that. So this even small. I can't really call it exclusive.
You heard it here first.
Oh, you did hear it here first.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you did. So yeah, keep that in mind. We're gonna stay on the music. I'm sure people have told you countless times, but you're genuinely good. Like, you're hard. Like, you're actually hard.
Bro, don't do this.
What I do to everybody must even know. Like, on the way there, as I'm meeting to somebody else, I'm entering before I like get to the studio. Like,
Yeah.
I always just, I
Yeah.
always listen to the person.
So he wasn't listening to me before.
just to get the.
So he wasn't listening to me before.
Just to get an
So you
extra flavor. Nobody's gonna be out of this.
So you wasn't just say, was you listening to me before? Yes or no?
Just to give an extra flavor. But the main question is who are your influences when it comes to rap? Like, who taught you?
Taught me, or who do I like listen to and inspired by? I said this earlier on, but Illy, I'm a big fan of Illy. Big out yourself. So I got not put onto him, but I very like, it's weird, bro. I have to feel connected to someone to take them in. So someone played him to me the other day and I listened, and I've just been rocking with him ever since. People who inspire me. Big fan of Dave. I think, old Dave. I think he talks a lot of...
when you say old Dave, old up to when?
Old up to...
No words? No, with that. No
I'm not a fan like that. I'm a fan as in...
Oh,
as in, what's that? Psychodrama?
Okay.
Psychodrama. Rimsey.
Okay.
Pot of Paper. I know you lot wishing I can say some Christian rappers, but sorry. Obviously he's Elijah. Oswald, I don't really listen to him, but he's alright. And yeah, like there isn't really like many people like Jadakiss. It's just like the rappers, Jadakiss, like all those people who rap and actually talk reflective things. Because I'm a deep thinker to some extent. I really, those guys inspire me a lot.
And then in terms of like teaching you to rap, was there anybody along the way that said, like maybe you can adjust your delivery like this, or was it just like as you went along, you just kind of?
I think should I be honest with you?
Well, I'd hope so.
Like, obviously, I used to rap before I got born again, innit?
Okay.
It was all right. Like the rapping, it was good. But when I got born again, God was just like, yeah. He didn't even need to say it because you get born again, so instantly you know what you should and you shouldn't do. But I've always had a desire for it. But I always felt like Christian music was corny. Like I didn't listen. The only Christian artist I knew of was Governor B. Like, and Governor's hard. Big up Governor. Yeah. But I'm not like, I don't listen to Governor. Yeah. Like now I might listen to him to be like, right, let me see what he's doing. But I'm not like a fan. Yeah. Like Governor's doing a show, I'm gonna be there. But he was the only Christian artist that man knew of, a man listened to. And it's nothing on him, but it was just like I couldn't connect with it. Yeah. Like I'm coming from an era where man was listening to Gigs, Walk in the Park, like PYG, Sharks, Tiny Boost. Yeah. I'm listening to Was. So I'm like, now I'm coming and I'm just hearing, like the blood. I don't want to hear that. So I'm just going back and listening to what I was listening to before. And I was just like, one of my sisters, Shazan, she was like, I used to spit to her. She's like, bro, you could really do this. And TJ Cream, he's like good childhood friend of mine. We grew up together. Oh, really? Yeah. And he was rapping. So I was like, if he's doing it, I could do it. Like, it sounds mad. It sounds
better than that. Or
I think I'm better than him in the sense of we're in two different lanes. I could say that. In his lane that he's in, I wouldn't even try and go in there. That's him. Okay. Like, but in what I'm doing, I say to him, stop trying to do drill, bro. You're not a driller. Yes. Like, just do what you're doing, innit? Yeah. So in that,
I feel like a lot of people want to be drillers.
Yeah, but it's not for everyone, bro.
But it's not for
everyone, bro. It's not.
Just have that. When the thing goes out on Instagram, can we make that the caption?
It's not for everyone, bro.
On TikTok, not everybody is a driller, and that's okay.
Have you seen that video? I'm not a driller. I'm not a driller. He's not a driller, mate. He's not a driller. That's what they were doing in your That's what they were doing. I'm not a driller. The flip. So what was he even saying? Something to do with
that not everybody's driller, and what you used to.
Yeah, and music and stuff. So I'd never listen. And then she was like to me, bro, you could really do this. And I fell onto the music again during lockdown, and I just found this drill beat and I just started rapping to it, and it just kind of went off. And then that's why I kind of fell back in love with music. But the songs I fell on the drill stuff by accident because I didn't want to do drill. Because I just don't like it, bro. It's not, there's no connection. You listen to it, okay. Apart from Canola, do you listen to Canola? Do you listen to 6, 7, 8, Nath? Cool. Apart from Canola, when you listen to people's drill songs, or maybe Rev J, but do you sit there like, oh man, I need to change my life?
I can't say that for myself.
No, but do you? Or do you sit there like, wow, it's like, yeah. And then it comes off and you're just like, yeah, man, so what are you man saying? You don't, there's no hold. Like, it's not following you. You're slapping on in the gym and vibes in. You're not taking nothing away from it. And that's why I didn't want to do it. And when I done the drill stuff, like two of my big bros, they were like, you could really do this music thing. But I was always conflicted because it was rugby or was it rapping? Like, I wasn't sure that I wanted to do that. But he's like, mate, don't even talk to me about music unless you're serious. And I remember I met him at a barbecue one time and he's like, you could really do this, bro. He's like, what I need from you is just get 10 songs. 10 songs, 10 drill songs, and then we go from there. But prior to all of that, I used to write just rap, like deep rap. Yeah. Depressing rap, like to the point where pain rap, that they're listening, they're like, and she said to me, she's like, why are you
alright?
Like, you need to change the beat, bro. Like, it's not every day. Yeah. And I'm like, but this is how I feel. And I was sending beats. It's like, bro, you need to choose your beat selection. Because I just used to write music. Because remember I said to you about communication, based on how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. So I was always going through something. Yeah. So I was always trying to express that and put that in my music because that's how I communicated. And they were like, we don't care about that, bro. Drill's what's in. Give us some vibe. Even my first song, Rocky, bro, I didn't record Rocky until December. I dropped it January, February, in Feb. So the song only came into existence 2 months before it actually dropped. But in my hearts of hearts, I always knew 2021 was going to be the time. So it was just kind of like, it wasn't something that was pre-planned. It just happened. And I personally believe like I'm an artist. Like I'm not boxed in it. Like I could do anything I want to do, bro. Like not even on an arrogant thing. Like I'm confident in the abilities and what God has given, man. And I know what I'm capable of, that I can do anything. So it's kind of like, as time is going on, I'm just developing and learning new things and trying this. And we talk about, worldly or circular music and whatnot. I really believe in learning from those who went before you. Like, so I might listen to Dave and Potter and be like, how did he deliver that? Like, that was so sick. Yeah. Wheel it back and listen to it and then go to my song and be like, okay, I could say this way. And obviously, like, got friends that are doing the music stuff that you value their opinion and they're like, what do you think of this? And they give you their input and stuff. So I think there hasn't really been one person that's directed me. But one thing I will say is I'm trying to work on the pipes. I'm trying to find like a vocal. Did I say that to you? I'm trying to find like a vocal coach. So if there's anyone, Becca Fox or anyone, Sinach or anyone, if you see, hit me up. Because I just like, I don't know, man. I want to like maximize the ability and just do stuff, So yeah.
How hard has it been to stay in your lane in terms of like the music that you make and what you're putting out?
In what sense?
Just in terms of like, so for example, you can do drill, but you could potentially do something else and potentially do something else. But has it been easy for you to kind of like, you know what you're good at and just kind of like just stay there?
No, it's not. Because I'm just happy go lucky, bro.
Yeah.
I'm here, then I'm there. I think recently I spoke to the team and I said, listen, I don't want to do rap no more.
Yeah.
And I remember chatting to Zelly and I'm just like, bro, I don't want to do rap. Like, how can I get out of this? So I've like, bro, I've got like probably 30, 40 songs.
Wow.
That I've recorded. Yeah, because as I said, I bulk recorded in it before. So I had stuff, bro. I've got stuff from last year that I haven't even touched, that I wasn't even planning to release till next year. And I've still got, not bragging, but probably another 20 songs I haven't recorded. So I'm sitting on a catalogue.
Yeah.
But I say I don't want to do drill. Yeah. And this is what I was saying to you about earlier is when God tells you to do something, you're afraid. So I'm so shook because I'm like, God's told man to do this, but it's uncharted territories. I don't know how people are going to receive the rap stuff, but that's what I've been called to do. And I know every time I do it, it impacts people. So it's kind of like now I'm in a process of not filtering out, but getting out my old catalog and just, I'm stopping drill, saying like I'm stopping the drill stuff, but just phase it out. So I get the old stuff out. And then it gives me a chance to transition and do what I really feel like man's been called and want to do. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think it's been hard. It's been hard in the sense that fear has kept me in a box to step out because I'm so comfortable now. And this is what I do.
Which is natural.
Yeah, of course.
Understandable. Yeah.
So that I'll say that's the biggest part is wanting to do something but being afraid to do it.
That's actually real though. That's actually real. And to be fair, that speaks to a lot of people probably listening as well.
Yeah.
In terms of like things that they have been impressed on their heart that they would like to do.
Yeah.
And things that they've been willing to do for a long time. But whether it's fear, whether it's just more time, we're just making excuses for ourselves.
But more time, I honestly believe in your heart, in it, if you're procrastinating.
100%.
And when the right time is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the right time is now and but there's a process to becoming in it. Like, you can't just wake up and be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna be a rapper today.
Yeah.
There's a process and you have to be patient with the process and you got to do it with God. Like, I found myself on this journey, bro. Like, we always use the term, I got to plug back in, like, where I just disconnect because I'm just going on my own thing and I'm not doing it with God. And even before I dropped my first song, like, I had people on my case like, when are you going to drop, bro? I need to hurry up. And I was like, and I remember once they got in my head so much. I went studio, man's trying to do stuff and it just came out whack. It wasn't how it should have been. And I learned in that moment, like, it's better for you to just wait and know in your spirit. Don't allow a man to rush you because they think you should do this. Like, you get me? The Bible says in the multitude of counsel, there's wisdom. It doesn't say in a multitude of counsel, there's wisdom and you should follow every wisdom.
Tell them.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to take the meat and dash away the bones and ask God, like, what do you want me to do? Because I dropped at the right time. Because otherwise I wouldn't be here with him, even though he doesn't listen to my music.
But and staying on your music, your song, because this drop is just not gonna work, unfortunately. As much as you wanted it to, your song "Setbacks" just dropped.
Oh yeah.
Wow. But what I want from you is to tell us kind of the story behind that.
Did you listen to it?
Actually, I didn't listen to it as well. I like the cover.
That's how you know it dropped, didn't it?
That's how I'm gonna drop. Hear this guy. Anyway, could you tell us the story behind it?
So Setbacks was actually recorded at the same time I recorded Rocky, which was 2020. So it's part of like the fizzing out. And it was just like, at that point in my life, I was seeing, because I said, bro, I played a decent level of rugby in it. So I played for like a pro club, like one of the biggest clubs in Europe. And I was in the academy and all my pairs that I was playing with then, they're either playing international for England or they're playing first team.
Most of them.
they're doing a lot, bro. Like and it's good.
How does that make you feel?
Tapped. Initially, it used to make me feel like, rah, like, what have I actually done with my life? Like, it's just like, them man. And that's what's on. Them man went ahead, but they think that they left me back like well back. It ain't about who's ahead, it's about who can act the setbacks. So many L's with my perspective change. I now see them all as lessons. Them L's seem like L's, but we're in the sky, so I call them a blessing. So it was like, it made me feel like, flip, like these lot, they went ahead, like they've left man behind. They're doing good, because bro, at 18, man was homeless, bro. I was living at my brethren's, like I was living at some of my friends' house. Like I left school, I didn't go to uni, had some complications. I literally, bro, I would carry a backpack. I had 2 bags, and I would go to rugby training and I'll play games. People didn't even know, but I'll play games. I got pictures because I remember I said I'm going to take pictures so I can look back. And I had my Timberlands. My brethren gave me Timberlands. I don't know why I needed Timberlands back then. And I would have those bags, and people wouldn't know. So all of that, like man was frass. I used to live in someone's shed lived there for like 2-3 months in winter. The same degrees outside, inside. Man sleeping with a sleeping bag, trousers, hoodie, jacket, gloves, the whole shebang in it. So it's kind of like to be there and you see people doing good and you're not progressing where you are, it's disheartening.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like now with everything, and at that moment I was just writing like they went ahead and and they think like they left man back, like, because people like, what have you done, bro? You were meant to be doing good, but look, like, what have you actually done? You ain't done nothing. So it was kind of like getting that out and writing that and just putting that out there to say, like, this is what I said with how I feel. So I'm writing deep stuff on drill. That should have been on a bad boy rap song. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? But so I've always had that nature in me that I want to teach and speak, but obviously just where I was kind of confined it. So that was the mindset then. It was just like, you go through stuff, and it's not a setback, but I'm in a process, I'm learning, I'm becoming, and it doesn't matter what everyone else is doing because I'm in my own lane doing what I'm doing. And this is where God wants, man. Like that's ultimately what it was. Like everything I'm going through now, like back then, everything I'm going through or was going through then was because I needed to go through it. And God was using it to prune man and make man become. Because like I look every day now, bro, and I look at my life and I look at what I'm doing and I'm like, I'm happy with my life, bro. Like there's obviously more stuff you want. Like you're always going to want stuff, bro. But the reality is where you are now, enjoy the moment, bro. Because even like podcast, like, yeah, we're in a nice room. But you lot went in this room once. You were in some meaty studio in Paris deal. But you know what I'm saying? You were somewhere that wasn't great, but you made the best of the little you had. And it might have been frustrating, but now you're here. But even here, it has its different levels of stress and frustrations. And it's hard, and it's so easy to get lost and be like, rah, like, forget where you came from and be like, because you're here, you're so used to here now. They're like, oh, like, flip, man, like, da-da-da. Can't wait to get to the next stage. But the reality is you are going to get to the next sage. So enjoy the moment now. Do you know what I'm saying? Enjoy it now. So then when it gets to that, you appreciate it. And then you're going to level up and level up. And I think it's just about being content. So like when I look back and setbacks and I listen, because remember, like when you write music, you can feel and hear how you were feeling back then.
Yeah. And
I think for consumers, you lot listen and you might relate to it and it triggers memories. But for the person writing it, like my song 10 to 13, bro, it was one of the hardest song, not hardest, but it was deep, bro. Like I was walking around like man was in my feelings, because you got to tap into emotions and memories that you probably don't want to tap into to find how you can express it and put it so people can listen to it. And it's amazing because, as I said, man's emotional about it because I haven't visited it before.
Yeah.
So now that I'm tapping in, I'm like, I'm depressed, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think that was ultimately why man wrote Setbacks. And yeah, it means what it says on the tin.
Look at where you are now. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you, man. He doesn't even listen to my music, so he's proud of me.
Please, you don't know, my followers is now going to drop again. Nobody, by the time this...
Alright, subscribe, run it up, subscribe. Subscribe.
Comes and listen to your episode again. You scare them away. Anyway, we are actually gonna put a pin in it here before I fully close. Subscriptions. If you're watching on YouTube, which the majority of you are, stop what you're doing right now. Pause it. As you're pausing, like it. As you're liking, comment it for the algorithm. The algorithm needs it. Do all that good stuff. Share it. This conversation was riveting. Most likely, you would have found it riveting enough to send to your friends. On Spotify, do us the favor of giving us 5 stars. On Apple Music, do us the pleasure of giving us 5 stars. And with all of that together, we should be going a lot further by the time you hear the next season. That being said, follow us on at the RGS Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. We are doing great stuff. We are doing good stuff. We are doing gargantuan stuff. So make sure that you keep up with us for music updates, recommendations, releases, all that good stuff. Good stuff only here on our side. And I think that is about it. So this has been myself. I will have to thank our good guest, 678.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thank you so much. And yeah, been good.
Are we gonna do a part 2?
You just cut me off on my outro, so I don't think
we're not doing a part 2. We're not doing a part
because you've angered me right now.
He doesn't listen to my music. He's not listening to my music. He's not going to do a part 2. He doesn't listen to my.
He has angered me deeply. This has been up to this point great bad. So say less, don't stress.
He doesn't listen to my music.
And God bless. Peace.
6, 7. Go listen to my.
Bro, because I listen to everybody's music as I enter.
And you did it.
I can't lie. I didn't listen to it until she put me on.
Okay, then just say it. Just say it with your chest.
The whole thing is gonna be for. But now everybody's gonna go.
So why didn't you say it on there, bro?
Because
why were you bro? You had your chance, bro. Why didn't you tell them? Come on, man. You don't shuffle.
You'll find a way to cut this and.
Come on, man.
That's what you're gonna do.
That's what I'm saying.
You are now listening to Redefine Gospel Sounds.